So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this camera on the back of the truck and I'm gonna back down here to the creek where I got the creek done. So we actually started right here yesterday. So from here back to where the excavator's at, I'm gonna back down through there, is what we got finished yesterday. So backing the truck down through here got us almost down to the creek, and we'll have to walk the rest of the way over here to the excavator. While it's warming up, I'm gonna explain a little bit of a fix we got to make this morning. Had a little bit of a bend and a part on it yesterday. If I don't get it fixed this morning, it's gonna be worse as the day goes on. All right, so here we are at the excavator, and I got just a little piece above where the excavator's sitting at, right up into there. So this starts the steep part though. It gets from right here up, it's fairly steep for a good ways. Part we're gonna have to fix is this thumb. If you look and see, this ear on the thumb right in there is bent out, and the reason for that is when I reach and grab a log with the thumb and that log twists inside that thumb, it causes that ear to bend out. And if I don't fix it this morning, then eventually that will spread on out and pop off that pin. The plan is it's a bush fix, and yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go just yet, but we are going to see what happens. The first attempt at this bush fix is going to require 2 chains, 2 binders, and of course a hammer, a big one. This is the plan. This is the ear that's bent out. So what my plan is to wrap a chain around this part right here and take it through on the other side of this tree, put the chain back together right here, make an anchor point on that tree, use one of the binders to take a lot of the slack out of the chains, and then when I get that chain good and tight, all I can do with the travel on that binder is get the second binder and put on the chain and take all the slack out of that binder. Hopefully that will do what a friend of mine told me a good while back when we were trying to straighten something, is in order to straighten that, you can't just hit it with a hammer, because you hit it and it springs back out. You hit it and it springs back out. So what he told me to straighten something like that is you got to take the bounce out of it. I had no idea what that meant. So I said, yeah. So explain, take the bounce out. All right. So to take the bounce out of that is we're going to take those chains, those binders, and pull that ear so that when I whack that thing with a hammer, it does not have the ability to come right back out. There's going to be tension on it that's going to be holding it and trying to pull it back together. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to find out. One of the biggest problems with this idea is I don't have a way to heat that up. If I had a way to put some heat on this area right here, I could just pull it together with those binders, I believe. But because I don't have heat, that's why I got a big hammer. The objective in this bush fix is not to lose any blood or break any bones. Yeah. Here's stage 1. I've got the anchored around the bottom of that tree and around this tree. Okay, I'm going to be tightening on that binder over here, and y'all tell me if that moves. That moved a bunch, I believe, didn't it? All right, so I've run out of travel on this binder. I can't tighten it anymore. So now then what I want to do is put the second one on right here, and that'll give me a little bit more pulling power. Y'all want to watch me twist this ratchet, or you want to watch that piece come together? Let's watch the piece come together. I don't know that I'm gonna need the hammer really to hit that, but we'll do it anyway, just for fun. Safety glasses on. Hold your ears, 'cause I'm gonna whack it. I think we made some progress on that, and I actually saw a little bit of sparks. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. I'm gonna tighten it just a little bit more, see if we can get a little bit more out of it. I wish I could get that sledgehammer and hit right there, because that would be my most leverage right there to hit that, knock it on a little more. Safety glasses on. Here we go. I think that worked pretty good. We got this back together now. See how much pin's out on this side. And on this side, it's back together good too. So now then the question is, when I let the tension off that chain, does it spread back apart? Well, it did spring back out, but not as bad as it was. We'll try this for a little while today and see if it's going to hold. I'll just be a little bit more careful today and not get those logs in such a bind. I think that'll buy us some time. And when you work by yourself, you just got to figure things out, and got limited resources here in the woods, so that was my best attempt. If it starts spreading apart again today, I'll come up with plan B. Instituted plan B, because I just figured out a way to get a little bit more leverage on this ear over here, and that was to move the thumb farther back on this tree so that the tree is riding on this piece of the frame right here, the thumb. So now then, we are repositioned, and I've already moved it a bunch. So let's crank down on it some more, see if we can get it to go. I don't know how many pounds of force I have on this chain and these two binders, but I'd say it's a bunch. Let's look on the back side of this tree. I want to check, make sure we don't have any problems before I tighten down on it anymore. And I'm going a little past what I normally do on torquing something. I generally will use Gudentite, which is German specifications for torque. This time I'm going all she's got. Wow, that came together a long ways right in there. I'm gonna give it a few love taps, see if I can get it to stay. Hold your ears. All right, let's back her down, see what we got. Did that help any? I don't know. It does look a little straighter. And for this application, we're not looking for perfect or its best. I'm just looking to get through the day. Just work today without this thing coming off. Let's put it to use and see what's going to happen. Today's bush fix was sponsored in part by, well, me actually. I don't have any sponsors. Hope you enjoyed it. I think it'll work for a few minutes anyway. there's any other excavators watching this video, I'd like to know if anybody else has this going on. That was a horsefly that just flew in the cab and it bounces around on the glass until it finds a way out. But they do that 10, 12, 14 times a day. Maybe I'm in their flight zone. Curiosity of the horsefly, I don't know. Sucker is again, or another one. I don't know. That's weird. Trying to get these trees back out of the way. They generally get hung on other trees. So what you have to do is break them. So I'll show you what I do. I put the bucket against this one right here, and against that one right there, and push against that other tree right there, and break those in half. Push that on back, grab that stuff, and put it over here. think it's more about this horsefly situation. So I began to test the idea that it's the same one or if it's different ones. Well, this one decided to get on top of the glass here and just give up and die, I reckon. He's upside down. But once I kill that one, that's 5. And that's not the only ones I've seen. There's been some others come in and left too. It's just the simple things in life that go on up here. With taking that tree out, hopefully that showed up on camera. I won't know until I edit it, but that was almost bad. Yep. What happened was, as I was digging that tree, the roots grow inside these cracks and crevices. You see that right there. Let me get in here, we can see it a little better. Those roots grow down in those cracks and crevices right there, and they are hard to get out. But what happened was I was trying to get those roots cut, and there was one main root on this side right here that I cut, and when I did that, it turned that tree loose. That tree was starting towards me, and that's where you got to be ready, thinking ahead of time. Is that the only thing that I could think of at that point was raising the excavator bucket up and start to guide that tree away from me. Had I just panicked or stopped right there, that tree could have come back on the cab of the machine. That wouldn't have been good. It caused a lot of damage. Digging trees on the side of the hill can be dangerous because you don't know where they're going. You can plan, but you better be ready for some changes in the plan. I figured this is a good point to show y'all what I'm doing as far as building a path up here to the top of this hill where the house is going to be. And that's a view of the road as I've cleared it out all the way back through there. Well, I call this a road. Let me explain that. This is basically, I've talked to the property owner, this is basically going to be a dirt path to the top of the hill there where the property is, which would be passable with a 4-wheel drive truck and be used by them just simply to get up to the property and make plans and do some things there. And the reason I'm hesitant to call it a road is because it's not necessarily a road. It's going to be a dirt path all the way up to the top. in order to build a road on this that would be sufficient for construction traffic, cars, what have you, there's a few things that need to happen. One is we are not 100% sure where the property lines are going up through here. The property owner used, I think, a compass and some other cell service here is poor. I believe he used a compass and some other tools to try to get a straight line in the center point of this lane, and that's what we've cleared out. And about 24 feet of that has been cleared. But as I said, this is not a road. In order to build a road, I explained to the property owner what I'd like to have is the defined property lines on both sides. I may need to clear some more trees to get out of the way, but to build a proper road in here, I need to bring the D5 dozer back and clear this junk off, make some defined ditches, and crown this road so it's usable. And the thought was, well, what if we go ahead and put rock on it, just on this dirt path? And you know, I advised no on that, and simply because it would cost about $3,500 to $4,000 to put some 2-inch rock on this, 1.5 inch rock, which would make it, you know, drivable, very drivable. Because all that is going to be lost. When I come back in here to build a road, by the time I get the ditches built and recrown the road and shape the road, may have to move it one side or the other. I just can't honestly advise that, even though I'd make money on putting the rock down and it would make me more money. That's not what I think is best. Be more than glad to do it if they wanted to do it, but I don't want people to waste money that they don't need to waste. And that's where we are on this. I know some excavators that are watching this channel that initially are looking at this and are going to watch me push this material off with this excavator. And I want to show you how I'm going to do that. Are thinking that's never going to last, that road's not going to work. You're exactly right. It's not a road, it's a path. It's just a cleared out area to get to the property at this point. What I'm doing is just simply pushing this material off, and I'm going to do this in time lapse so that it is a little bit more pleasing to watch rather than just slowly going back up the hill and slowly coming back down. But I'm backing the machine up, and I'll put the blade in the ground and push this stuff down to this point, and I'll make 3 passes doing that, and then I'll take that material and put it over to the left side of the road as we're looking up. So you'll see how that's working. One of the challenging things when it gets time to build a road with the dozer is I found some nice rocks. This is a rock shelf. It's right here, the most prominent right here, but it's a shelf that runs back this way. And there's another layer there, and there's another layer where the excavator's setting. So basically this is a rock shelf that goes around this ridge. There's some more of it sticking out of the ground right in there. This is going to be challenging. Also, if you go up a little farther, there is more of it up here. If you see that sticking out right there. That is not going to be fun. There was a song in the 80s I'm reminded of, and that was Hammer Time. This may be a candidate for an excavator hammer to get this road built. I hope not. It's costly to get a hammer in here and bust up all these rocks to be able to build a road. Hopefully we can get around that, but we'll see. One thing that rock does for us is it gives us a good seat, and I think this is probably a good opportunity for me to say thank you to all the subscribers and viewers and all the folks who are hitting the like button and commenting on this channel. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and it helps this channel grow. You know, one thing about this channel is it's relatively new. We're less than a year old so far, and it's growing okay. But the one thing about this channel is that it's my intentions to help people if I can, whether that's spiritually coming to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or it's just simply answering questions on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. You know, I'm self-taught, and there are a lot of really good excavators on YouTube. Some really talented people have been doing it for years and years, and so I said self-taught, but actually I've been attending YouTube University of Excavation for several years, watching folks how they do work, and some of those guys are really good about answering questions, getting back with you on things, and willing to help. So that's my desire. If I can help you in any way to answer questions, or if you're a new excavator or looking to get into business and have questions, or just want to know how or why, I'm willing to do that. My satisfaction comes from seeing you be successful. My satisfaction comes from hearing your stories on how things are going. So I really appreciate that. I just simply want to be a help to you if I can, whether that's to know Jesus Christ or how just to dig a hole. So there's my 2 cents, and I appreciate you watching, I really do.